Hi, Greyhounds. I'm here again for another somewhat short book. This is another novel in verse. If you remember, we read Garvey's Choice, which is a novel in verse. A novel in verse is actually a poem, but it reads and sounds like a novel. A lot of students find them actually really easy to follow. They're sometimes shorter or quicker, or they just move more quickly than other books. And this one's also by Nikki Grimes. And so we cheered for Garvey. This time, this is about a girl named Gabby. And Gabby gets in trouble at school a lot for daydreaming. Does anyone ever say that you daydream? For instance, sometimes you're looking out the window, or you're deep in your thoughts, or you're lost in your thoughts. Well, Gabby has a lot going on in her life, and she has to move, and she's with her mom only, and it's all a new world for her. And let's see if she gets all of her conflicts solved or worked out. She's definitely a daydreamer. So the first page is called the Prologue. And a prologue is sometimes comes before the first chapter, just something that the author wants you to read or think about. So here we go. I hope you like this one. I do. Prologue. Mom loves angels. Their pink-cheeked faces peek from pictures on every wall in every room. So, surprise! Mom decided to call me Angel. Dad said, enough already. He didn't want his kid named after some silly, weak-looking, chubby cherub. He wanted a strong name for his girl to take out into the world. Mom is stubborn, though. She flipped through the Bible, found a few fierce angels, and tried again. What about naming her Gabrielle? He was so fierce, people fainted at the very sight of him. That's all Dad needed to hear. And so we need to find out how her name gets shortened to Gabby, but she was actually named for the male angel, Gabrielle. I'm sorry, so that the female version of that, Gabriel. She was named for Gabriel. Okay, so that was the prologue. Now we have words with wings. And I want to show you that instead of chapter names or chapters, there's just a title, like in Garvey's Choice, if you watch that one, a title of each page. So it's like each page is kind of like a poem, and it all fits together into one story. So this will only take us 2 days to read, 2 different virtual libraries to read. So before you know it, you'll be done. And if you want to take an AR quiz, then there you go. All righty, finally, here we go. First page is called Two of a Kind. Mom calls me Daddy's girl, 'cause him and me, we're both dreamers. Close your eyes, he used to say. Tell me what you see. I'd say, sky, shooting stars, rainbows wrapped around the earth. Now it's my turn. I see you and me bundled up in silver spacesuits, bouncing on the moon. Race you, he'd say. And we'd laugh because back before he moved across the street and we moved across the city. Our laughter has a lot farther to travel now. Well, sounds like she's close to her dad. She has fond memories of her dad, it sounds like. And now he moved across the street and they're down the street. Summer shift. We packed our bags in June. I braced for summer of impossible goodbyes, of impossible goodbyes and the dread of living without friends ever again. To chase away the fear, I flipped through a dictionary, plucked out the word hush, and thought about the whisper of wind rustling through leaves. Come next autumn and the silence of their falling. Then I jumped into a soft, deep pile of them, grabbed an armful of red, gold, and burnt orange beauties, and tossed them into the air. And I was all right again for a while, and I went back to packing for the move. That was called Summer Shift. This one's called Cherry, Cheri. I think that's the name of a girl. Let's see what that's about. The kids at my last school called me weird, teased me, or left me to myself, except for Cherry, who picked me to sit next to her in kindergarten just because she saw me staring out the window and was dying to know what made me smile when all she saw were raindrops. I was shy about telling her at first, but Cherry didn't mind my daydreaming. She was colorblind, but said whenever I described my daydreams, it was like helping her see the rainbow. Hope is the title of the next page. I hope this new school has a Cherry who will think daydreamers are cool. First day. I ducked down in the seat of my new class. To these kids, I'm not Gabby yet. I'm just shy girl who lives inside her head. No one even knocks on the door for a visit. They don't know it's beautiful in here. First day. Does anyone know what that's like to have to go to a new school on the first day? Or maybe a new grade level, so you had to move into a new wing or school. Right now, she just thinks of herself as shy girl. Gabby, title of the next page. One weekend and already my new teacher complains about how much I daydream. Gabriella, he'll say, where have you gone off to this time? I try to tell Mr. Spicer it's not my fault. Blame it on the words. Words with Wings, which is also the title of our book. Our novel. Some words sit still on the page, holding a story steady. Those words never get me into trouble. But other words have wings that wake my daydreams. They fly in, silent as sunrise, tickle my imagination, and carry my thoughts away. I can't help but buckle up for the ride. Getting started. Say fly. And I go back to the first daydream that saved me. I remember there were screams, a plate crashing to the kitchen floor, and angry words ripping the air. I pulled the pillow over my head, dove deeper under the covers. Still, I could hear the awful sound of their raised voices. La 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 la, I said aloud. Still, I could hear them. If only I could fly, I thought. If I could fly, fly, fly away, I'd go to the window, step out on the ledge, spread my wings, and fly away, high above the city, higher than the clouds. I'd fly straight to Virginia, fly to Great-Grandma's house. I'd land on the porch, hop on her swing, and listen to her humming to me. And just then, I could almost hear Great-Grandma's hum, could almost feel the gentle sway of the porch swing, and for a few moments, I forgot my parents fighting. The word fly had set me free, and I wondered, are there other words that can carry me away? So we definitely hear about her mom and dad. They're fighting. Sounds like she's close to her dad. I'd like to see if she's close to her mom. She's still daydreaming. She remembers these thoughts. Next page is called Gone. A few days later, Dad packed his bags and hugged me goodbye. Something wet was in his eye when he walked out the door. I started missing him that very second, but I didn't cry. Instead, I filled the quiet with daydreams. Concert. Say concert, and I'm somewhere in the past, sprawled out on the grass in Central Park, my head cozy in Mom's lap. In Mom's lap, her head cozy on Dad's shoulder. I can't quite make out the music, but who cares? So she has a sweet memory there. Games. Say Scrabble, and I'm giggling next to Mom, whispering words in her ear while we gang up against Dad. He doesn't stand a chance, but he grins anyway. We come up with the word quiz, beat him with a triple score, and roar. I sure do miss those days with Dad. Adjusting. It's been 6 months and I still miss us. That us used to be when Mom and Dad and me were happy. Gabriella, Mom calls, please come and set the table. I sigh and leave my memories in my room. Coming! Setting the table. I grab placemats blue as the ribbon of sky beyond my window, where pigeons invite me outside to play. But I've got a job to do, so I shake my head, no, and lay down 2 knives and 2 forks. When I fling a pair of napkins toward the table, one sails on the air like a kite, and I take off running across the park, chasing my crimson high flyer as it cuts across the blue. And Mom asks me why it's taking so long to set the table. Gabby, snap out of it, she says. I see you forgot the glasses again. So at first when I read that, I don't know about you, I thought she really did take off to the park. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she just ran out of the house like that and didn't finish setting the table. That's one of our first glimpses of her daydream. She's imagining doing that. And so her mom says, snap out of it. Washing dishes. Washing dishes, I sink my hands into rivers of soapy water, soft as sea foam. I close my eyes and float in the ocean. Sun warming my cheeks, breeze tickling my skin until Mom yells, Gabby, stop daydreaming and finish those dishes. Laundry. Mom runs to the store and leaves me in the laundromat with a neighbor, our clothes spinning in the dryer. I've seen pictures of kids giggling in giant whirling teacups, and pretty soon I'm whirling too, hands raised to catch the wind, dizzy with laughter, which makes Mom groan when she gets back because the dryer stopped when I wasn't looking, and I was supposed to be folding clothes. Report card. At my old school, all my report cards ended the same. Note, Gabriella's mind wanders. I wonder why they bothered to write it down. Everybody already knew. Will Mr. Spicer write that too? Remember, that's her new teacher at her new school. Explain this, please, the title of the next page. Mom names me for a creature with wings, then wonders what makes my thoughts fly. Nothing new. One or two hellos greet me at the classroom door. I know not to expect more. No one wants to be friends with the weird girl. I pass by rows of desks, a make-believe grin hiding my hurt. Most days I'm an A-plus pretender. When I'm not, I just crawl into my daydreams and disappear. Arabesque. This weekend I stayed with my dad. He bought tickets to the ballet. Like I begged him to. On the way home, he asked, "So what did you think?" I closed my eyes. I tied on my toe shoes, checked the fit of my tutu, then pirouetted and leaped across the stage. I pulled off a tight spin and was about to leap again when, "Gabriella, where'd you go?" I grabbed my dad's hand and smiled. She must have liked the ballet, right? She's imagining being on the stage herself. A trip to Thailand. Dad dreams out loud. Once, he spun imaginary stories about a trip to Thailand. Mom waved off the idea, said we didn't have that kind of money. Dad knew she wasn't listening. But on his birthday, Mom took him to a Thai restaurant for dinner. That's when he realized she'd been paying attention all along. Mom's complaint. Mom calls me to the kitchen, a note from school, waving from one hand. I stand in the door jamb, jumpy as a cat. "Gabriella," she begins. "What am I going to do with you? You have to start paying attention in school." I gulp, search my pockets for some promise I can offer, but only find the seashell Cherry gave me when we said goodbye. "Did you hear me?" Mom asks. I nod, finally breathing easy when she sends me to my room. Maybe. Dad is a dreamer and Mom is a maker. I've been thinking maybe I can do both. So she's taken up the daydream aspects of her dad. Her mother's more practical. She can just find a way to daydream and then follow her responsibilities when she's supposed to. I'd say that is a wonderful formula. Something great if she can figure that out. The next page is called Sled. Say sled, and my nose is cold and shiny as the blades of the red racer. I haul to the top of the hill. Then it's down, down, down I go, careening through a lopsided snow fort, waking the morning with laughter, shearing straight into the sun. Snowflake. Say snowflake. I start to shiver, rip off my mitten, and giggle as one wet, cold, lacy filigree of winter white falls onto my greedy palm, then melts away. Waterfall. Ooh, I like that. Say waterfall. And the dreary winter rain outside my classroom window turns to liquid thunder, pounding into a clear pool miles below, and I can't wait to dive in. I understand what she means. I've been in a car before, and when you see the water trickle down, it can look like a waterfall. She just truly imagines it as a waterfall. She definitely has an imagination. Mom. Mom watches me sometimes. I'll return from a daydream and find her eyes studying me. Once I asked her what was wrong. She shook her head. "Nothing," she said. I wish I understood you better." If only, I thought, but I let her go on staring. Favorite words. Mine, pretend. Mom's, practical. All we have in common is the letter P. Or maybe she just thinks that. We'll see. Missing my old school, my old life, my old family. Some days sad is a word I can't swallow. It swells inside my throat until it's stuck. I hurry home from school and beat my mom there. The second she arrives, I crawl onto her lap like when I was little. She holds me quiet and strokes my hair. I stay there till the sadness shrinks and I can breathe again. Parent-teacher talk. I catch Mom whispering on the phone to Mr. Spicer. I hear new school and hoped and daydream and stop. Mr. Spicer must say something like, "Don't worry," because Mom says you're right. It doesn't help to worry anyway. She hangs up the phone, turns in my direction. "Oh," she says, then smiles. It's a nice smile, but I still go to bed feeling like a problem. I bet her mom doesn't think of her as a problem. Mom, the nurse. I think your teacher, Mr. Spicer, is too easy on you, Mom says the next morning. I study my breakfast bowl to keep my thoughts from flying out the window. What would happen if I started daydreaming when the doctor tells me how much medicine to give a patient, huh? But I don't want to be a nurse, I say. Mom rolls her eyes. I give up. I wish. Wishful thinking. I figured it out. Mom wants me to be just like Dad, sorry, I'm going to do this page over. I figured it out. Mom wants me to be less like Dad, more like she. Teased. My week doesn't get any better. Jerome, a bully boy from my class, bumps me and sends my books sailing. Oops, sorry, he lies. Guess you were daydreaming again. Next time, watch where you're going. I clench my teeth, feel fire in my cheeks, then tears come to smother the flames. Whew, the whole teasing part doesn't sound like things are getting any better right now. Stuck in dreamland. Maybe something is wrong with me. All this fancy dancing in my mind, where I see red and purple and bursts of blue. Everybody else sees black and white. Am I wrong? Are they right? Too bad. I can't ask Dad. I quit. I pack my daydreams, kick them to a dark corner. No more word journeys for me, seeing what others don't see. Oh my goodness, what does she mean by I quit? What do you think? Colorblind. On Monday, I shuffle to school, eyes fixed on my footsteps. No skipping ahead on imaginary adventures. I'm only me, dodging broken whiskey bottles in the street, locked in the real gray world of now. Perfect. I am perfect. I stare straight at the blackboard, catch every single syllable that falls from Mr. Spicer's lips, pass the pop quiz, and still have enough time left to be bored. Whoa, she's really concentrating. And she did a great job on her quiz, and she focused. Wow. Next one's called homework, but instead of one word homework, it's two words. Maybe we'll see what it's meant by homework. Girl robot. I set the table stiffly, but in record time. After grace, I count the peas on my plate to keep my attention on dinner. For my next trick, I slowly sip my milk, avoiding conversation with Mom, who wants to know how my day was. You're awfully quiet, she says. I clear the dishes and answer, scrub them till they squeak, can be heard on Mars. Homework, I say, excusing myself so I can disappear between the colorless pages of my workbook. Correction. Mr. Spicer asked me to stay after class. I wait by my desk, still as stone, wondering what wrong thing I've done now. Gabriella, he says, what happened to my dreamer? I haven't seen her in days. I shrug. I gave up daydreaming like everybody told me to. Can I go now? Mr. Spicer sighs and waves me away. Good. I've got nothing else to say. I wonder why he sighed. Because he wanted her to pay attention more, right? And she did well on a quiz. But sometimes when people sigh, it's like they're frustrated with something. Is it possible he's frustrated that she's totally given up daydreaming? Kind of odd, isn't it? Persistent. Teacher keeps an eye on me all week. I give him no reason to call me aside, but he does. Talk to me, Gabby, he says. Tell me what's wrong. I can see you're not happy. I'd argue, but my sigh gives me away. I miss daydreaming. Then daydream, says Mr. Spicer, confusing me. But you're always telling me to stop daydreaming. You and my mom. Teacher taps his top lip like a door the right words are hiding behind. Dreams are great things, Gabby, he finally says. The best thinkers, writers, and inventors in the world allow their thoughts to carry them away now and then. Take the Wright brothers. We wouldn't have airplanes if they hadn't dreamed of them first. Still, sometimes you have to slide your daydreams in a drawer and let them wait until later, like after I'm done teaching a lesson you need to learn. Got it? I nod, wondering if the Wright brothers knew anything about bringing daydreams in for a landing. And we're going to stop right there. And I would love to hear what you think. Also, does it remind you of Garvey's Choice at all? Anything similar at all about it? I would love to hear your thoughts. Hope you all are doing well, and I hope you have a great day. And I can't wait to see you all soon, Greyhounds. Bye-bye.